Here we are. Geeks all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cause We Geeks. And we encourage you to stay geeks. Listen, we are back yet again to get our geeks on. Glad y'all are here with us. If you're new to the channel, into geek content, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Join us here, man, for all geek conversations. And also, too, everybody hit them likes for us tonight, man. That'll definitely help out that algorithm. We definitely can use the help with that, so we can help build the channel up and bring more geeks like yourselves here, man, have these conversations with us. Listen, man, y'all already know what time it is. You can tell by my shirt, thumbnail, BJ Hayden. It is Superman time. Listen, man. The reviews are out, so we're gonna talk about that today. The reviews are out. There are some reactions to it. They had the premiere screening was yesterday, so the people had their initial social media reactions. So the embargo got lifted for that. The full review embargo got lifted today. So they already have these scores and everything for the Rotten Tomato scores and all that stuff. You have, I think, over 150 critics giving their thoughts and stuff on the movie and all that good stuff. So we won't get to all that today. But like I said, if you guys are new, please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, into geek content, whether it be movies or television. Also, too, everybody hit them likes for us today. Also, too, follow us on our other channel, Cause We Geek'D clips, as we post the condensed version of the show there on that channel. So we're still trying to get that channel going. All right, fellas, let's get to it, man. I guess we can classify this under quick hit. And we have it. Superman debuts at a 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that was kind of the news everybody was looking for. They were kind of seeing how this is going to go so far. You know, people going to see the movie. There are some people who've seen this movie probably like 2 weeks ago. I know some folks who've seen it twice. So today, a lot more people have seen it. This was a debut, like I said, last night of the movie. The social media embargo lifted and all that good stuff. So right now, it started at a 91. I think right now it's at a, would you say it was, Big J, 87%?
I think 86 right now. Yeah, 86.
Oh, 86. So, of course, that's the critic score. There is no score yet for the audience because we haven't seen the movie yet. So that should be coming out here pretty soon. But so far for the critics, it is at 86. What's y'all thoughts on that, man? Y'all think it's too high? That kind of where y'all thought it would be at? Like, what's y'all's thoughts?
I was gonna go ahead and review bomb it myself. I was gonna start that. No,
say, bro, you need to hurry up, bro. You got about, you know what I'm saying? You got about 3 days, man. Get to it.
No, like I'm interested to see it. I want to see his take on it. Like, I was a big fan of Cavill Superman. I was also a big fan of Christopher Reeve Superman, which are two different varied takes. And I hear he's a blending of the two, but leaning heavily toward the Christopher Reeve side. And so, like I said, we just have to see, because my only concerns is, like I said, I've heard a lot of stuff on it. I heard that there's some tonal things, but like a lot of people like it. I don't know if it's going to be a true Superman movie just because he's introducing a lot of stuff to this movie. We already know he's got the Justice Gang and all these other characters, so I don't know if it's going to be really a Superman movie or if it's more of an introduction to the new DCU. Now he may be kind of all over the place. That's what my main concern, and that's one of my worries, is because he's trying to world build in one movie, which is a mistake that Warner Brothers has made before.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I got something to say to that, but that's fair. What you think, BA?
So I think one, if it's 80 plus, that's already that tells you it's pretty much at least a solid movie. So that's at least you can probably go through and sit through it. But I'm hearing all positive reviews from it. And to go with that, what Big J was saying, I think he just, like, as soon as we get into the movie, like, we are in Metropolis, like we are in year 3 or 4 Superman, and whatever year it is, like we're in the world. So there's no there's no origin stories for anybody. Like, hey, I'm talking to Green Lantern in the group. Like, I'm talking to these people. Like, hey, they're just regular people, as in regular superheroes or regular advanced beings, however you want to classify it. Like, we're going to be in the world from day one, from jump, as in I should say minute one. And I appreciate that. Sometimes I don't necessarily need to sit back and see a whole origin story from when the ship crashed, or nah, just let's go. Let's see where I'm supposed to be at, and let's rock off from that. And I'll catch up. So I did hear some things that it could be a little bit jumbled a little bit, but once you sit through and get through it a little bit, everything will start to make sense, and it'll start to flow with the rest of the movie. I don't think James Gunn is going to make that mistake of just having the audience lost the entire movie. So I don't think that's the case, and I'll be ready to take off right along with Superman.
Yeah, that's the reason why I got under my name and Gun We Trust. I coined that phrase a while back when he first found out he was taking over DC. I mean, Gun has a pretty good reputation with the movies and stuff like that. I think the lowest he's had in his career on this Rotten Tomato score, I think it's like a 79 or whatever. So he has pretty good rapport with his movies and stuff like that. It's a great writer. We already know that. The thing with kind of what you were saying, Big J. The only thing, I heard a lot of other people say like it's probably too many characters and all that stuff. I think the only reason why people say that is because you know who those characters are. Like, most movies have a ton of characters in it. Like, we had a ton of characters in Sinners. We just didn't know who those people were. But we know who these characters are. So that's why people are saying like, oh, it's too many characters. Until we see the movie, we don't really know. But from a lot, BA was just saying, from a lot of the people I'm saying, they said it's actually a true Superman movie, even with all those characters in there. Like, none of those guys would just take over the movie and completely overshadow Superman. It's like his movie. The only negative with the whole Superman thing, not only negative, but one of the negatives with the actual character of Superman is a lot of people are saying we didn't get to see Clark Kent enough. They didn't get to see Clark Kent enough, I should say. And which that don't really bother me. You know what I mean? Because like the same thing with the Batman, we didn't really see Bruce Wayne that much. It was mostly Batman in the movie. It's the Batman, so I'm cool with that. Like, Superman is Superman, so I'm cool with that too. Um, but wait, yeah, what you say?
I just hope they don't play on that too much. So if you don't have the Clark Kent side, so Superman could be, for lack of a better term, he could be very gullible at times. And I hear that's where Lois Lane
Trusting
helps
and
out a
all that.
lot in this movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. A little too trustworthy, trusting, and you don't necessarily know what other people are trying to set you up for, because you're taking them on their word, on their up and up. So I think that does invite a lane for Lois Lane in this particular movie to do that. And when you move forward, that Bruce Wayne will be that other guy, like, hey, you should probably do it this way. Let's do it this way, so on and so forth. But I don't want him to be. There's a fine line between being gullible versus being idiotic. So I
Mhm.
don't want him to teeter on the idiotic thing, because Superman is not dumb. He might trust too many people, but he is not dumb though at the same time too. So I don't want him to do that, to be that guy. So if they can keep Superman actually being somewhat smart, like, he's a reporter. Reporters are mini detectives. That's what they do. They just not a full out detective. They don't have the badge and everything else to go with it. But they scoop out things. That's their job. So he's not doing that. If he's not being Clark Kent, if he's not necessarily using his detective skills, his reporter skills, then it's like, then he might be too much Superman, and then too much could be, man, you fell for that again, huh? I don't want Thor here. I don't want Thor here. I don't want that.
Right, right. No, I hear you. So, bro, so I was sitting there. I told you I've been watching the Superman animated series. I've been hearing a lot of people also say too, it's just like watching Superman animated series and Justice League. It kind of got. If they said it's as if they took that and put it in real life or whatever. So I've been kind of watching that to kind of get a feel of what we about to go in here to. Um, I kind of wanted, which I already know that they said this Clark Kent is taking liberties from All Star Superman's Clark Kent, and I just watched that movie again the other day, so kind of get an idea of what this movie going to look forward to with this movie. Like I said, he took a lot of pieces from different mediums and stuff like that when it comes to Superman, and the main one he took it from was I think All Star Superman, Superman of All Seasons. There were two more I can't think off the top of my head, but I know for a fact. Oh, sorry, Kingdom Come was a little bit of it too. And there was a couple of other ones too. I kind of wanted him to be like the Clark Kent in the Superman animated series. Like, he was real, like, serious. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, kind of like that detective side of Clark Kent. somebody you could take seriously. He wasn't like all like a bundling idiot and all that, and he dropping stuff and tripping over stuff, all that type of stuff. So I kind of wanted that Superman, as far, or should I say Clark Kent? But like I said, you gotta definitely see what his vision is for Clark Kent. They definitely said that he is like a farm boy in this movie too. I heard people say that too. So we're definitely getting like that Middle Eastern middle of the country type of Superman. You know what I'm saying? So which is fine with me too.
Middle Eastern, yeah. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I mean Middle East, but y'all know what I mean.
Midwestern,
Yeah,
Midwestern.
thank you, Midwestern. Thank you. Superman. So Clark Kent too. So I mean, that's fine too. Like I said, just kind of get an idea, man, of what he's going for there, man. Like I said, I heard a lot of people say different stuff about it. But some of the stuff that I heard that everybody kind of said on the same was just fact that it's he's pretty much the true to heart type Superman that I think a lot of people were looking for. I heard the complete opposite from Man of Steel, which is my favorite comic book movie of all time is Man of Steel. It's like my favorite Superman movie. But go ahead, BJ.
Now, I'm gonna say I did hear one thing. They said one of the bright spots was the Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, I heard that too.
A lot of people said he's not quite, but they said in his scenes, they said he kind of steals his scenes.
Yeah, they said he's like that serious, like the serious one out of like everybody. Like
but they also said he's funny. Like they said they said a lot of his scenes, he's the funny one, even though he's not like I don't think he's trying to intentionally be funny in the movie, but they said like he comes off as funny, like his scenes lighten it up without being too campy, from what I hear.
But you didn't hear nothing about Guy Gardner though.
I did hear like the whole cast itself. I'm about to say I think most of the cast did their thing. Like I didn't hear that one person. I didn't hear reviews saying, "Well, they could have hired somebody else for this particular role." So even down to dude that's playing Jimmy, played his part well. So it's all in all good. Like I'm not hearing too much like this movie's trash.
So I heard Corn Sweat did good. The main three, the four: Corn Sweat, Rachel Bronson as Lois Lane, Nick Holt as Lex Luthor. They say he's doing real good, Lex Luthor in the movie. And then, like you said, boy that plays Mr. Terrific. Those like the main four I've heard.
Now, how y'all feel about Lex? Just from the previews, how y'all feeling about him?
I don't know. I mean, of course he comes off as extremely jealous, but he is weird. He seems real petty, which I don't know. Lex in the comics, to me, Lex has always been, that. Not necessarily. He's always been that criminal mastermind. He wants to take him down, but he has other motivations besides I just hate Superman. To me, usually a lot of stuff is either he's scheming on ways to make more money or to take over or to prove how smart he is, but not necessarily just to take him out because he's jealous of Superman.
So, for me, two things, BJ, to answer your question. One, that's to answer it's kind of piggyback what you just said, BJ. This Lex is taken out of All-Star Superman once again. Like the motivation, like you said, the jealousy and the hate for him is straight out of the All-Star Superman. Like I said, go back and watch. You just watch that. You don't got to read it. Just watch the animated movie. Like he hates Superman to the point that everything he's trying to do is try to ruin or kill Superman or whatever. Two, I only seen 2 trailers. I didn't watch the rest of them. I didn't watch any other clips. So the trailers that I seen of him, I only seen glimpses of him. And I think the second one I saw, I think he had like a small little part where he said, Superman or whatever. And that was all I heard of him. So other than that, I haven't seen anything of him to kind of tell me how I feel about him as being Lex just from the trailers. I only seen 2 trailers. So I'm not sure. So I'm only going by what I hear everybody else saying. Oh, go ahead.
I think he's gonna do a better job than Man of Steel's Lex. Jesse Eisenberg.
That's impossible. That's impossible, bro. That's a tall task, sir. I don't know. That's boy, listen. He matter of fact, he said he talked to him before he got the part.
I know he talked to the dude from Smallville. I forgot his name, but they said that
he was on his podcast. Remember?
Well, they said, what's his name? James Gunn is friends with, I forgot the name, the actor's name, the guy from Smallville, the guy that played Lex. Said they're friends, and they actually talked about having him have a cameo in the movie.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, he got a cameo in there. Dang, what's the dude's name? Because he's the voice of Wally West in Justice League too. Let me see. Let's get to this next one here, y'all. Check this out. Let's get some of these reactions. Excuse me, man. There's a ton more reactions to this, but supposedly on this site, they only had about 6 of them. So we're gonna go through these real quick. So these are some of the early reactions right here, y'all. All right, Put this all through and up in the people face. Check this out. Sean O'Connor says, I loved hashtag Superman. Gave me the biggest, goofiest, stupidest, full face grin as I rabbled in everything James Gunn stage, perfect cast and world building. It's unapologetically comic booky. Hear that, BJ? It's comic booky, which won't work for some, BJ. But as far as DC Comics movies go, it's blistering delights. All right. Chris Parker, he says, hashtag Superman left me with a giant, happy, dumb grin. So everybody's grinning out here, BJ. They of course would embody Superman in such a perfect way. This is an actual comic book movie. A comic book come to life. James Gunn's DC feels extraordinary and makes me excited to see more. This world, I have my nitpicks. Others will too. BJ. Overall, I'm very happy. Oh man. Okay, so this is
you saw my title, right? I changed my title for today's show.
Just I see it. Yeah. Hold on. Eric Davis says, James Gunn's Superman is perfect superhero movie and terrific start for the new DC studios. It's big, bright, exciting, full of hope, and it never loses its sense of wonder. Watching it felt like ripping open a comic book and feasting on its wild, chaotic imagination. Loved it. Said Gunn set up his universe right from the start and jumps into Superman's story when he's at his lowest point. The narrative choices like which helps makes this feel unlike Superman's story we've experienced before on the big screen. Gunn goes out of his way to change things up and shake loose our expectation, but it still plays like a classic Superman adventure at the same time. Yeah, like I said, I heard of the Golden Age Superman too. They kind of threw that out there. Nicholas Hoult absolutely crushes as Lex Luthor. And how you pronounce that dude name that played Mr. Terrific, bro?
Eddie Gathuggi.
Eddie Gathuggi. Gathuggi very much still scenes as Mr. Terrific. He also has my favorite line delivered in the film too. I think he probably talked about that one that you were talking about, BA. He said, it's a relationship between Clark and Lois that ultimately won me over. Though it's well written, those two have some sizzling chemistry. I heard about that. I heard that too. Neil says, I've seen Superman. James Gunn redefines the character for a new generation of fans, restoring all of the nerdiness which goes along with his huge heart. Perfect casting all around. This is the first time a DC film has truly captured the comics I've been reading for 30 plus years. Okay, got a couple more here. What's that? Jermaine says, Superman soars. It's a nonstop joyride packed with humor, action, and emotion. There's a spectacle to spare, unbridled optimism, and goofy unpredictability. That ties everything together, even when there are a few minor issues. We've never seen DC like this. It's great. All right. And then last but not least, David Cornsweat's portrayal of the exceptional iteration of Superman with sincerity, heroism, purity, and inspirational traits. Cornsweat and Rachel Brosnan's chemistry for Clark and Lois is off the charts. Their relationship is an excellent driver, especially early. Okay. So, fellas, starting with you, BJ. What you think, man, about something far with these reviews, man?
No, I mean, like I said, it sounds positive. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna leave it. No, that sounds like they're they're positive reviews. And like I said, I'm gonna go see it and see what I think. See if it measures up.
I see your name.
But like I said, because one, I was a big fan of Cavill, and I get a lot of people didn't like Cavill because of the dark tone or the more serious tone. But
wasn't his fault, but okay.
Huh?
I said it wasn't his fault, but okay.
No, it wasn't his fault. That was just, and the funny thing is, I don't know if you saw that thing that they shot today. I was watching a review of it, but James Gunn and what's his name, and Snyder for
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, yeah, they were both doing Rick and Morty.
I haven't seen it yet, bro. What episode? Do y'all watch Rick and Morty?
I haven't seen it. I saw this one that just released, but they were saying that they were making fun of that whole thing, but they said because Rick and Morty is owned by Warner Brothers now, or I think by Discovery, they had him actually do his part, and Zach did his part. They actually voiced their own character, so they're making fun of the whole situation.
Yeah, I watched Rick and Morty, but I guess now what they do is like normally whenever you have something on HBO, they'll like show each episode or whatever on Max. I guess they wait for the whole entire season of Rick and Morty to end, and then they put it on Max. So I haven't watched it yet, so I'm waiting till the whole entire season is over with so I can watch it. But
It's
yeah,
probably on
I did
Hulu.
hear about that.
You don't have Hulu?
Oh yeah. Let me check Hulu.
Yeah.
It might be on there. I know Polar Opposites was on there. The same creators who created Rick and Morty created Polar Opposites. I know that's on there. But
Yeah,
what
usually
you
on
think?
Hulu they usually drop it every week as it drops, so you don't have to wait.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out when you're done. What you think, BA?
One, as you was putting these guys, I mean the different tweets and stuff up there, I was going on their pages and they all got Superman tattoos already. So clearly they biased. I did not check
the lower back. The lower back.
Oh no. Not the stain.
Somebody had a neck tat. It was getting wild. It was getting wild. No, it's
oh man,
it's positive. It's positive, especially that 3-paragraph one. That was definitely positive.
Yeah.
And that's just what you're doing. Clearly, you can just see with a lot of times with comic movies and things like that, they come in waves. So let's take it back to the 90s, right? And the Batman. So that was real comic-esque, real kind of whack. So they wanted to change the flavor. They wanted to change the vibe. So then you have Christopher Nolan, strictly not like Michael Keaton's and Val Kilmer's and George Clooney's Batman, right? So change the whole vibe of that. And then they was like, well, we got to keep that going, right? So let's keep it going with Superman. Like, let's keep that dark vibe going, and so on and so forth. And it was like, hey, sometimes you go too far, and they said we got to revert back. So they reverted back to the comic book essence of it, the feel good essence of it, and it should be bright. You can look at the pictures, just bright, a lot of colors, just jovial things. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be that kind of thing. It's gonna be that type of a vibe, and we know it, so we can understand that going into it. And yes, I like Henry Cavill's version. I probably still like that version better. I love when he snapped Zod's neck. That was great. But I don't think that's going to. Yes, definitely. Well, it's too late. I don't think I'm gonna have that moment here. I don't think I'm going to get that here. So here we are. So I'm just.
He might. Hold on, BA. He might gently snap somebody's neck, bro. Gently.
No.
But tone wise, you know what I'm saying?
If it ain't Lex, I don't know. I mean, hey.
He's not gonna do none of those things at all. I'd be surprised if he actually kills somebody. That's how far we're going. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, definitely positive. It's gonna be a positive movie, positive results from the movie. James Gunn did. He knew what he was doing. So yeah, like you say, Gunn we trust. Clearly, it's working.
Bro, let me ask y'all a question because you said something that kind of got me thinking. I was gonna ask y'all this. So you know how we was talking about with a couple things. So I think you touched on this last time, BA Pauls. You said James Gunn, or BJ, I think you brought this up. James Gunn's favorite character is Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you saying you could see him being, real, hands-on with the project or whatever. So they came out and they announced that, well, they reported that he is going to be major on his Batman. They didn't say he's directed anything yet, but they're saying he's going to be real hands-on with the Batman project. So, he's going to probably be shepherding and all that stuff, right? So when you kind of said something that had me thinking, BA, because I know that's something he said out of his own mouth, the fact that he's trying to find that balance of this version of Batman and separating it from the Matt Reeves Batman, right? What if he kind of used the same tone as the Michael Keaton Batman? It's not over the top.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I don't know.
Not necessarily the first one, because that's a little bit darker, but you could still see it's kind of, I'm trying to see how to explain this. Batman Returns. That tone kind of in that area.
I can see Val Kilmer-ish.
Or you don't think that's you know what? You might be right, bro.
The Val Kilmer one wasn't too bad. The Clooney one was one where it just went off the rails.
It went off the rail for that one. And Batman Forever wasn't. It was zany. It definitely was zany. but
Yeah,
it had dark themes, but no, it wasn't. It was
it
pretty
wasn't
light.
Batman and Robin. Yeah,
You know,
I can. Yeah, you know
he
what?
could
He
always go
get
60s. He could always go 60s tone. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, 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 no.
oh
Yeah,
Lord.
okay. Hey, he already said it ain't gonna be campy. He already said that himself. So thank God.
Dancing with the
Hold on. R.I.P. to Adam
How?
West. You ain't gonna be doing none of
No,
this,
we're
Big
not
J.
doing
Ain't gonna
that.
be none of that, bro. We're not doing that.
oh come on, man.
No, now you a BA, you might be right. That might be more the tone. Not all the way like that, but kind of in that realm of kind of the
It,
tone, because that kind of
it
fits
has to.
or
It has
whatever.
to.
Yeah.
What
He,
about
yeah,
Yeah.
he
Batman?
can't go dark. He can't. Matt Reeves is already going to go
Yeah,
dark. He can't
I
go
don't think.
dark.
Yeah, I don't think he's going dark. Not like that, but whatever. But yeah, I don't
I
think
like
he's going
Batman
that
the
far.
animated series. What if he goes for that balance? I like that was one of my favorite portrayals.
Yeah, I could see that. Shout out to Bruce Tim. I can see that, bro. Because I mean, like I said, he's taking some liberties from Superman. You know, the animated series. Like I said, the kind of depowering Superman a little bit, so he can be like more relatable, and you have stakes. So I could see that, bro. Because that's, to me, that's the perfect balance of Batman is in Batman animated series. You know, we got different iterations of Batman in live action. That's the only one that's like he has the perfect balance between Bruce Wayne and Batman. So yeah, I could see that. But like live action version, I'm kind of with BA. Probably the Val Kilmer Batman. It's probably that range. If you would kind of add a little balance of both of those, I think you got your Batman for the DCU. So, but let's get to this next one here, y'all. So check it out, man. Superman has 2 post-credit scenes. So BJ, don't be trying to leave early, man. All right, you know you gotta use the bathroom, but just wait. 2 post-credit scenes. Of course, they got one mid-credit, and they said they got one at the end. They said the people who went to see the screening and stuff did see the second one. You only saw the first one, but they announced that there will be 2 post-credit scenes. Y'all have any idea what it could be?
I'm
Yes.
sure. One of them I thought was gonna be because I've heard that Crypto is Supergirl's dog, and he's basically dog sitting, and I think that's gonna be. I thought
Oh,
she was gonna
for
show. Yeah,
real?
I think she was gonna show up to get a dog at the end or something. I think would probably be one of them, probably.
Okay. I like that.
So
I
they
like that.
because they're gonna introduce her, and then I don't know what. See, I heard something about Batman, maybe, but that was before the movies came out. So I thought maybe because he said I don't even know if he's cast, his Batman in reality, but it'd be cool if he
Yeah.
had like a hint to the Batman.
So James Gunn said a while back that Batman, he said that Batman's not in the movie. They haven't even started casting or nothing like that. He said they're still trying to put the idea together what Batman would be in this universe. But he did say Superman has met Batman already.
Yeah, I heard that. They said
Yeah.
they've known each other, yeah, and met each other.
So that's an encouragement thing right there. What you think, BA?
I'm about to say I can guarantee it's going to be a dog. So yes, right. So
Yeah, it's
that
gonna probably be a
Supergirl
dog.
thing is even better, right? So that's doubling
Yeah, I
up
like
on it.
that. I like that.
And she's going to be in this movie. So do you just go through the whole movie and then she shows up at the end? That she's technically in the movie, right? So I like that. I like that from BJ. That works for me. Um,
That is kind of interesting.
I can see like the second one, like at the very end, he pick up the phone, Bruce, and then that's it. I can see something like that.
So just call Bruce
So
and then hang it up.
not necessarily hang it up, but
Like pray call him. Just, oh.
No, it's gonna be
the,
Mahershala Ali's voice, like in the back, off the back, saying pretend to
the
be
screen
Bruce.
go black or whatever the case may be. Like it's insane, I should say. There you go. So it shows that he's contacting Bruce some kind of way, but then that's it. Like it's like you don't hear from him or nothing like that. Just giving you a tad bit of, hey, we might do Superman 2, or we might do World's Finest. But one
Maybe
of
show
them
the
coming
bat
next.
signal. Maybe show the bat signal, but not actually the Batman, but have a bat signal show. Like that'd be cool.
Bro, let me ask y'all this. There's another subject I wanted to bring up with y'all that James Gunn has talked about. But so there are we already see the reviews and everything. They already talking about this movie is tracking to be close to 200 million opening weekend. If you had to put Big J's Hot Toys on it, what sequel are we getting? Are we getting a Superman sequel, or are we getting Superman in something else, like a Batman, Superman, World's Finest? Like, what do y'all think? What do you think, BJ? If you had to call it, right now.
So there was I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a mess up on one of the interviews I saw today with Wendell
Wendell.
Pierce. Yeah, Wendell.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, Wendell Pierce was like, yeah, he said, yeah, it's a hot set. He said because we shooting a sequel, and they're like, oh. I was like,
So you
oh.
said he said it's gonna be a sequel to Superman. It's
Well,
gonna be
he
a
said it, then
Superman
he was
sequel.
like, ooh, because everybody looked at him and he
He
realized
just
it was,
said sequel.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said it was
So
shooting a sequel, but he immediately shut up because he realized he said too much because everybody looked at him and he was like, oh.
Okay. So you think it's gonna be a actual Superman sequel? Do you
Uh,
do y'all want him to go straight to World's Finest, or y'all want them to introduce Batman first and then go into World Finest? How do y'all want to do it?
well, I know Supergirl's coming next, right? So we know that's
Yeah,
already
it's next
coming.
this same time next year.
So yeah, with that, I don't know what they're gonna do if they. I don't see them doing a sequel to Superman before they introduce. Well, like I
Batman.
said, if they're waiting on Matt Reeves Batman, then maybe that's what they're doing. They may do another Superman, or they may do like a Justice game. Because I heard, like I said, based on what I heard, they said, in some of the reviews, they said they wish that they would just do the Justice Gang just to see their interactions, because they said
Mhm.
they liked Eddie Kentucky so much, and Guy Gardner, and Isabella Merced as a Hawk Girl. So they were saying maybe just had them do their own thing as a separate little spinoff. Well,
So
I know
you
they're gonna be in Peacemaker, so
well, yeah,
maybe,
he's not though, but Hawk Girl. And, I mean, I don't know. We don't know.
we don't
I'm
know if Eddie
saying,
Kentucky. We know Hawk
yeah,
Girl and
yeah.
Guy Gardner. So maybe in what's James' brother's name? I forgot.
Sean
Sean
Gunn.
Gunn. I was going to say Peter. Peter Gunn. Yeah, Sean Gunn.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different one.
So
so
Uh,
I think I'm about to say I think we get World's Finest. I think that you have to introduce Batman some kind of way in the physical, and yes, you have Matt Reeves the Batman. That's that version, that dark version. This is our version. So I might not have the Batman. So to have, because Gunn doesn't like to do subtitles with his movies. It's whatever it is, 1, 2, 3. He likes to keep it real simple. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Very simple. It's not going to be Batman Bold and he's gonna drop that. So eventually it's gonna be Batman 1, Batman 2, Batman. You can't have that going along with the Batman and then the Batman 2 or whatever the case may be. So I think he pauses on that, waits till Matt Reeves does his thing. He's not gonna wait. You're not gonna wait on Batman. Like he's just too. I think he's too particular on what he wants in Batman. I think that's his own personal hold up for his Batman. So I do think that the World's Finest is coming out. I think that's
oh,
gonna be.
you talking about Matt Reeves particular on Batman, or you talking about James Gunn
I was
particular?
talking about Gunn. Yes, when I
Oh,
mentioned
Gunn.
that
Okay.
just now. Yeah, I think he is particular, and I think he wants that person to be how he wants it in his movie. And I'm going to introduce. I'm not going to. You're the boss, bro. You're top dude. You're not going to wait on somebody else to get that flush that character out before you decide to go with your. If you feel like you need your character out in this particular movie, then you just drop him in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you make that boss move. You don't wait for somebody else at that particular point in time.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I think I told BJ this. I think they're going to move forward with the DCU's Batman because Matt Reeves taking too long, bro. He taking too long. Like you
Can't wait
said,
on
this is yeah, exactly. This is an important IP, so we need this. Especially folks constantly asking. It's like, yo, they're gonna eventually, like I said, with the success of this movie, then you're gonna have got Wonder Woman and Batman being the other two pillars of this universe. They're gonna need the Batman to start sooner than later. And if James Gunn them get a script, because matter of fact, he just said there's a guy already. They already got somebody working on it right now.
mhm.
So listen, he get that squared away, and James Gunn them are cool with it or whatever. They do the little punch ups and all that, bro. You know how they are. As soon as they get the script done, we greenlighting this. And if they greenlight this, and your boy still ain't done yet, which matter of fact, I think they just announced today. James Gunn just said he just saw the script for Batman 2.
He said it was great though.
He said it was great. Now he could say that, but still, like probably go back again. Like, you know what? Let me change this up or whatever. And then it gonna take him forever to change that up. But the point is, like, if James Gunn come out with his idea first, bro, let's go ahead and get it started. Especially with the hot streak right now of this universe. We are hearing great reviews for this. Creature Commandos came out. Like, you on a hot streak right now. So let's go ahead and get that started. That's Elseworld. We'll get to that whenever we get to it, man. But you need to focus on this right now.
Well, could they pivot to Wonder Woman, or since they already had the Green Lantern show coming out, could they expand on that just to give them time? Because like I said, I know, and I know y'all said people are smart enough. But even I saw another show ask the exact same question. No, I saw another show today ask the exact same question. They were like, is the average fan gonna get confused if because like I said, if as much success as they had with the Batman,
Mhm.
and then you followed up with the Penguin show, which was a big hit to me. So you wanna flush that world out, and then if you're gonna pivot and be like, well, this is another one. Like so, at some point, I think what's gonna happen is fans are gonna be like, well, this new Batman is the one that counts. That one doesn't count anymore, and they're not gonna work. They're not gonna go see it. And I
I,
know y'all
I don't.
people think I'm
I don't know
telling
they're
you.
gonna do that, Big J, because Batman is the most popular IP, which is why you don't see him on television shows and stuff like that. You always see Bruce Wayne on there. You don't actually see Batman. Like very protective of Batman. And I think with Batman, there being two different Batman, I think it'll still both get their due. My thing is what they might have to do if you want to clear all that up. They're gonna have to create an Elseworld title and slap that on the front of the movie and let folks know this is an Elseworld story or whatever, right? You got the DC. They're gonna have the DC logo pop up or whatever, kind of like they do with Marvel. Had a DC logo pop up for the DCU Batman. Have an Elseworld title, slap that on front of the Matt Reeves. That way, folks will know. Oh, okay, like on the trailers and everything. Play that Elseworld, logo or whatever. Put that on front of the movie so that way folks would know, like, okay, this is an Elseworld story. Okay, this is a DCU story.
I think they call that Crime World or something because I heard somebody reference it.
Yeah,
Like,
something. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Crown World, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, some crime world or something. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, that's why I said like I I'm sorry, bro. I want we're on a high streak right now so far with this universe that he's built, and this guy's taking too long with his project, man. We should not have to wait because he is slow. Like if you got your idea, you got your director, all that stuff. If because like I said, they're known for when as soon as they get them scripts out, they're ready to go. Now I don't want to just rush something out just to have a placeholder until this guy's finished with his movie. Like if you have something lined up, like you got Clayface lined up already, so you good to go on that. Like you said, Lanterns is about to come out next year. Supergirl next year. What's another one I'm missing?
Peacemaker too.
Thank you. Peacemaker's coming out. So you already had that stuff already. Like if you have a script for something and you're ready to go, yes. Don't just come out with something just because like, well, we trying to, save some time until he's done with that, and then this is gonna be the placeholder till he gets done, and then we can come out with Batman. Listen, if you got Batman ready right now, get it out right now. So I mean, honestly, like I said, I understand though about the whole confusion thing. Just slap an Elseworld title on that, slap a DC title on this. Let's get moving, man. 'Cause I don't want them to
And,
live in
and
fear.
another thing,
Go ahead.
so to decipher, I mean, the last time they was doing this, it was like the Aquaman 2 and the Blue Beetle, right? The whole vibe was we got a new regime coming in, so don't worry about those movies. And that
Right.
vibe got out to the people. If you flip it and just say like, hey, I like James Gunn himself. I support this movie. It's just a different version of what we going on. Y'all know how we got like the multiple universes. It's Elseworld type thing. It's this. They had their thing, and this is our thing. If they don't just shoo it off, like as in like if they don't dispose of it and they actually support it, then it gives it credence, so people will go out and watch it. I think that's actually the most important thing. That they kind of shooed other movies when it was changing direction. Don't do it this time.
Well, hold on though. But didn't James Gunn come out and say that The Flash was the greatest superhero movie he'd ever seen when it came out to try and hype it up? I'm just trying to.
Chill, bro. Chill.
He was full
Hey, I'm sorry for having a memory.
Hey, man. We was having a good time, man.
He was giving us fan service at that point.
He said it was the greatest superhero movie. I was like, hey. So, and if he said Batman is great, so are we gonna see a giant mechanical spider fighting?
No, bro. That'd be funny if they did that, bro. That would be funny, man. Hilarious. But nah, bro. Let me ask y'all this question. So this question has been posed. It's not just to James Gunn has been posed here over the last maybe like 5-6 years or whatever. Is there comic book movie fatigue in y'all opinion?
No.
Which thing, BA?
So I think the fans themselves are getting. I think they just want a better movie. You can't get away with Thor 2 anymore. Can't get away with it. Can't get away with it. You have to have a fully developed movie, and it has to make sense and have to flow. You just saw Deadpool Wolverine crush it, right? And also the problem with that is at the same time, you have to have buzz around the movie too. I say that to say, the Thunderbolts, that was actually a good movie. It did. I don't know why it didn't cross over into like actually, getting a huge profit off of it. It wasn't a bad movie. It was pretty good. Maybe the movie
I got a theory on that, but I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, that's what you just said. That's what I'm about to say. Yep.
So now you got a negative flow, and we understand how bad a Brave New World was. Like, y'all, it felt like it was too many cooks in the kitchen. They just did not have a finished product from that. So they just, hey, let's blend some stuff together and bring it out there. So you have to have a good project, full, and try not to have errors around it. And then you got a good movie. I think fans just want a good movie at the end of the day.
Facts. What you think, BJ?
Yeah, I don't think it's superhero movie fatigue. I think it's, like I said, it's just bad movie fatigue. And like we said, Hollywood has a history of milking franchises too long, or and going back to the same well. So it's probably one of those things where, like we said, Chapek came in and he diluted the product, and we've got so many terrible movies, and we had all those years of Fox making bad movies, with the bad Fantastic Four movies, and then we got the bad Venom movies from Sony and Morbius. And like I said, fans will go see a good movie. Like you said, you just saw Deadpool Wolverine. Wakanda Forever made $859 million. So it's not people are just tired of watching those movies. It's we want something worth spending money on. And like I said, the problem is you can't send stuff straight to streaming because they've changed the it used to be where stuff be in a movie theater and then it goes to to physical media and it may not hit streaming for a year. But now they're doing 45 days. At one point during the pandemic, they were doing same day, but now they're doing 45 days. So like, why do I go to the movie? I can just wait a month. And it'll be on, Disney Plus or HBO Max. Right. So you cannibalize your own market trying to push streaming to where people don't worry about going because there's no urgency to go to the theater. I mean, why not? I can save me $60. It's $160 if I'm going to buy that Galactus, popcorn jug. You know what I'm saying? And I could just be at the house chilling. And so that's what people are doing until you give them a reason to go and have the movie experience. There's not a reason to go to the movie.
Yeah, y'all are 1,000,000% right. That's why I always tell folks, we talked about this before. The fact that people like my aunt, they are the majority of the people who go to the movies. Like folks like us, we're the minority, right? So when she sees a comic book movie, she just relates all of them together. She don't care if it's DC, don't care if it's Marvel, don't care if it's Sony, none of that. She sees a comic book movie, all the comic book movies are comic book movies in her eyes, right? So like you hit the nail on the head, BA. The reason why a lot of these are failing, like you said, for example, people went to the movies to go see Captain America because they had a good time watching the movie before that, which was Deadpool Wolverine. But because Captain America was not good, that hurt the movie behind that. Perfect example. Look at the DC movies. DC started dropping each movie they released up until they rebooted the universe, to the point that I think Blue Beetle didn't even cross 150 million worldwide, right? So like it's because, like you just said, people are tired of this ain't back in the day where just slap a superhero's name on that and it's gonna sell. We have too many examples of the quality being excellent. So now we know that you can reach that bar. We want to see that bar get reached every time a movie comes out. Anything less than that, nobody wants to spend their money on that. And so when you have a Wolverine, Then you have a Captain America, which was bad, and then you have a Thunderbolts right there. That hurts it right there because you have that one movie in the middle. That hurts the momentum, which is why I was saying a minute ago with DC. Like we're here, you know, we already know Creature Commandos was good. We're hearing Superman is good. Now build on that momentum and release something else. But like we already know Supergirl's coming out. Which is why I was saying kind of work on the Batman movie. But you want to build on that momentum, which is kind of what Marvel did. Because that last phase of Marvel's saga, Infinity Saga, that damn near hit every movie. They were starting to catch rhythm. So then people are starting to trust that brand now. Like, yo, I know when I go to the movies, this is going to be a good movie. So now, with them, the whole phase 5, phase 6 and all that stuff, like y'all said, some of the movies are good. So now it's a crapshoot. It's like, dang, do I go see this movie or not? I don't want to take the chance of going here and it's bad. And then you get the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was good. People didn't watch it because they didn't want to take the chance of it being bad like the previous movie. Also, where it hurts there too is the Sony movies. We talked about that before. People, like I said, they equate those movies to all of the comic book movies. So though I've even had people come on our channel and talk about the fact that they were counting the Sony movie with the Marvel movies. Why Marvel so bad?
Didn't BA say that Madam Web was?
Oh yeah, you told me.
BA said Madam Web was his favorite movie. I thought so. I was like,
Oh my god, bro, that. BJ, don't get me started, bro. I wouldn't have ran about that movie. I hate that movie so much, bro. That was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. My wife damn near divorced me over that movie. How bad it was. Oh my god,
that's the problem. You don't understand. You don't understand true talent.
I can't relate, BA. I can't relate.
Vision.
Understood.
But no, but yeah, like I said, I don't think it's fatigue, like you said. I think it's to the point too. Like I think what also hurt, for example, DC, what hurt a lot of movies is everybody tried to copy the Marvel formula. And they didn't do the proper steps that Marvel did to get to where they at. They want to take a shortcut and say, okay, Marvel's at Endgame now. Let's make us an Endgame. It's like, but you didn't work your way up to what Marvel did. Marvel didn't all of a sudden just wake up one night and we're successful. They worked up to that. They have to build that trust with the fans and the audience. You're not doing that. So then, like I said, you're rushing stuff. You're not putting no thought into it. Like you said, BA, too many hands in the kitchen, too many cooks in the kitchen, I should say. So then, stuff start getting all, combobulated, discombobulated and all that stuff. And this is like, you get these type of movies like the Sony, when we talking about please sell back to Marvel, but like I said, I don't think it's fatigue. I think what some of the studios have to do, you have to sit down, you have to come together and create a vision. James Gunn sat down with his team, they created a vision. Now they're trying to act out that vision. Kevin Feige, same way, he had a vision. Kathleen Kennedy had a vision. I was joking, she had no vision. But I wish she had a vision. He said, what vision you talking about? No, she had no vision. I wish she had a vision. But I don't think there's any fatigue to that, bro. Like I said, James Gunn kind of talked about that too, because somebody asked him that too. And I like the fact that with James Gunn's movies, I talked about this before. With the Marvel movies, they're taking the fantastical and putting them in our world. With the James Gunn movies, he decided to put us in their world. So it's like when you hear those people talking about how everything just looks fantastical in this movie, it's because he's flipping it on his end and going the opposite direction that Marvel's going. And I like that. Like, do something different. Give us something new. Don't just copy off the same people that we've seen already. We want to see something new. That's how you also get people to come to the movie theaters. Oh, that is somebody I never seen before. Let me see what this talking about. And so you start building a fan base that way. So now, like I said, build on that momentum. You get the people coming in. So now we know what to expect when we go to the movies. But other than that, I think that's all I got for us today, fellas. Y'all got anything else, man, y'all want to add about this movie before we call it a night?
Yeah, when y'all watching
it? I got so me and Cuz and my wife and some others, we going to see it Friday evening. So we could do a spoiler discussion on Saturday. BJ, you please tell me you're going to see it Friday, bro.
You going to see what?
Yes, dude. Man.
I'll get over there.
Come on, BJ. We got to talk about this Saturday, man. Because BA want to go see it Thursday.
I thought we were supposed to talk about something today. Were we supposed to talk about a movie today that you made us go watch and do homework on? That you forgot about?
We can talk about it. I know BA want to say something. Talking about the Jurassic World movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep messing up. Jurassic World Rebirth. There we go. Jurassic World Rebirth. BA, what did you think of the movie, man? I gotta hear this. Go ahead. What you think?
Yeah, you saw it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
oh, man. Here we go.
no. So when I said they made an attempt to get the original movie, the suspense and to have you thinking that the next person is about to get eaten, so on and so forth. That's right up your alley. They had that. They made an attempt for that. But for me, I was on a whole different lane at the first segment of the movie. Spoiler.
Oh, wait, hold on. My bad. Hold on, my bad. So if y'all have not seen this movie, man, we're letting y'all know now. It's gonna be some spoilers. So just a heads up. If you have not seen the movie, you want to go watch it. You've been warned.
Don't lead the video. Just mute the next couple minutes.
Yeah. Mute for like the next like 5 minutes. Go ahead.
So when they open the movie and the whole thing, this is they are in a facility, an anti-dinosaur facility. It is designed to keep dinosaurs at bay for when ish happens. Yep. And a goddamn Hershey wrapper shuts down the whole facility. I was lost. It took me 20 minutes to get back into the movie, and I was like, yo, I can't tell my wife this whole shit shut down from a candy wrapper. And I had to get past that, and it took a while for me. I might have to watch it again just so I can get past that part of it. And I was like, this whole
suspend your belief, BA. Suspend your belief, man.
This whole movie, this whole thing of them doing experiments and stuff, and the secluded place was based off a candy wrapper. So after I got past that, I was like, okay, now let's look at the actors and things like that. Mahershala Ali, shout out to him. I actually liked him. They could have did without Scarlett Johansson. She was not necessarily needed in this particular movie. She's going to get credit for a blockbuster movie in which I think they could have added any damsel in distress, and they could have made this particular movie happen. I like the fact that they separated as a task. It was basically like a heist movie at the end of the day. I got to get this from this, and I got to get this from this, and I got to get this from this, and then now let's see what happens. And they did that. So I was cool with that. I think they was killing off people a little bit too fast. I was like, they only got like 5 people in their crew, and 2 people died from the first sample. I'm like, they gonna run out of people. Like my wife was like, hey, that's 2 people.
Hate yourself.
Right. We got. So I'm thinking they got like a village in town that like, okay, so the locals about to get smashed, right? I was like, okay, this is gonna be crazy. And basically nobody else died until like the last segment of the joint. Then my man get eaten by the giant pterodactyl thing. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I was just saying, it was a lot to deal with this movie. Other than the first segment, they would have just changed that some kind of way. I think I would have been much better off. That Barbasol can doing all those things in the first movie was much more believable than this Hershey wrapper. But like I said, it was a suspense part. It was multiple scenes in which you think like, okay, this dude about to get it. When the dude was pissing, this dude about to get it. Yeah. This dude about to get it, and he doesn't. Right?
Why he lived, I have no idea. I was very upset by him still breathing at the end of the movie.
I was confused by that too. Yeah.
And then I think too many people survived at the end of the movie. Like, how we go from damn near everybody about to die too fast to pretty much everybody survived.
Slow it down and nobody down no more.
Well, no, so because they said they did shoot 2 different endings. One, the way we know it should have ended, and the one they did end, and they said it's because of the audience reaction to the first version. Because Mahershala wasn't supposed to make it, but they said that the fans was upset. So they said after they did it, so they shot 2 endings, and I guess it was the fans pick from the viewer.
Because he turned into Aquaman and got from point A to point B, and I'm like, how the hell he get over there? Like, it should have been. They didn't have to show him dying. They could have just showed the dinosaur
light going out.
the light going out or the light in his mouth in a sense. So we see the light coming. No, it's in his mouth. Like that would have been fine. He could have got killed off camera. No, he just swam and avoided all that for some apparent reason. And then hey, I'm surviving, and then we all go back to the mainland.
Well, that's because what was that thing from Star Wars? The rat.
Oh, yeah, what it did look like. You're right. What it looked like.
They said it was a cross between that and the aliens. They said it was they used both of those, and there was a couple other creatures, but it was like you could tell it was a rancor. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Rancor,
said
yeah.
it looked like it looked like a rancor with four
Looked
sets
like
of
you right.
hands.
They had the little baby T-Rex.
Yeah, the little
hands,
baby
man.
hands and the big old long hands in the front.
It was nasty. It was nasty.
I was mad, BA, the fact that they didn't let. And normally in these movies, the T-Rex get this little moment at the end of the movie.
I was expecting that too, for the T-Rex to come to
too.
fight the
I wasn't expecting T-Rex. I was expecting the baby, that baby dog dinosaur that Shorty was having. That that followed him around. We never saw the mother. So
I think they said those dinosaurs are small
to come through and just give them enough time to escape. Never saw the parent. That's a parentless child dinosaur running around, going back to New York or wherever they came from.
Right.
So they said those were supposed to be small dinosaurs. I don't know if that was actually a baby, or I think it was just another Grogu type situation though. They wanted something they could sell plushies to kids, but they said that's why they said that actual dinosaur doesn't grow huge.
But
okay, so it threw me off because the boyfriend that should have died multiple times. Well, after the little dinosaur was running around, it was a bush shaking, and he was like, "Okay, it's time to get out of here." And he ran the other way. Thought the bush was the mother in a sense, and it just never appeared. Like it came in the same scene. So I don't know, just complete waste of product advertising.
Bro, listen, you know what's crazy? This franchise over the last maybe 4 movies now have missed the mark as far as the opportunity have here to really put the world on notice with this franchise. The name of the movie is Jurassic World. Yet you keep the dinosaurs in this one small location along the equator.
And explain why they're not in the rest of the world.
Now, I'm thinking, right? The last 2 Chris Pratt movies, they were going in that direction. I remember telling my wife this. They were going in that direction. I think me and Cuz talked about this. I said, bro, matter of fact, I don't know if y'all saw that little small short before the last Chris Pratt movie came out, where that family was in the going camping or whatever, and then like I think that T-Rex or something came in there and like wrecked the camping site or whatever. And you sitting there thinking to yourself, okay, at the end of the second Chris Pratt movie, all those dinosaurs went into the wild, right? Mm-hmm. So the next movie, you're thinking, okay, you're gonna see a whole world. Man, if you kind of got that idea, the world full of like dinosaurs just roaming around like regular animals and all that stuff. So then they completely go away from that idea. Jurassic World. You thinking, okay, it's gonna be we have to try to adapt to them now. The whole entire ecosystem and everything was supposed to change and all that stuff because this is supposed to be like a chain effect. Not only you brought the dinosaurs back, but now the whole entire ecosystem and everything is changing due to what they have here on the planet now. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna go that route. Nope. We're gonna ignore everything that happened in the first 3 movies that seem to have led to that idea. And we're just gonna say this Jurassic World is now confined to this one small space along the equator. And it's like
they wrote it off in 3 minutes.
They wrote it off. You giving it too long, BA. 2.5 seconds. All they said was bleh, and that was it. It's like, wait, what? I remember saying that to myself, like, bro,
the ozone layer in the air and the water, everything changes for them. They're just not adapting fast enough. What?
I'm like, oh my god,
it was doing just fine. Being with the other animals that's similar to them.
They don't call it Jurassic World, call it Jurassic Equator or something, or Jurassic Land or something. Like you went to a land and found them. Like that didn't make any sense. That's a missed opportunity. I'm thinking like, yo, we got to try to adapt to them being in our world. Like we saw with that Stegosaurus up under that bridge and all that type of stuff. That's kind of stuff we're gonna be dealing with on a regular basis. Like you outside, pterodactyl swooping down, stealing your puppies and all that stuff. That's what we want to be dealing with, bro. They, like you said, they completely just wrote that off, man. And he called it rebirth. Rebirth of what? So now, if you're gonna keep these dinosaurs in this particular area, then what's going to be the reason for the next movie you dealing with the dinosaurs?
That was a problem, but so I think BA had the wrong problem also that frustrated him with the movie because I felt that Ruben he should have died early on as well because he was dumb for bringing his kids to the through the area that you wasn't supposed to go through because he want to have one last thing for his daughter to go to college where he puts his children in danger.
I agree with that too.
I'm like, you the worst father in history. And I'm like what is you thinking?
Did that not feel like two different movies to y'all?
It was. Because there was one with the family going on their adventure, and then the other folks, doing the like I said, the heist, trying to collect the samples.
You could have had one or the other.
Yeah,
you didn't need both of them together in the movie.
Now you had to get them to come back together.
Yeah,
they did the Avengers. They did Endgame. They separated two groups, and this group did their thing, and this group did their thing, and hopefully they meet together at the end. And that's exactly what happened. Look at the footprint. Someone's been here.
And why was there? No. I was also frustrated by the fact that they were able to start that Jeep after 17 years because.
Oh yeah.
I know gasoline breaks down after 6 months, but hey, I was like, wait, man, how did he start? First crank, it didn't even.
You didn't hear no nothing.
Yeah, and the batteries was juiced on. I'm like, how the batteries just stay charged in the car for 17 years?
17 years ago, he had a push button and everything. You saw that, man?
I saw it. Dude, I was completely confused. So you let the rapper take you out? I was like, how that car started like that?
Bro, there's nothing too. One more. I know we kind of rant about this movie. That whatever that what they call it, a D-Rex. Is that what they called it? I forgot the name of it. Whatever that dinosaur was at the end.
It was D-Rex.
We saw it for 2.5. They hyped this dinosaur up in the trailers. You thinking like, yo, this gonna be the dog. It's gonna be this the dinosaur right here. Like like the other ones had that one dinosaur. Like, yo, okay, this the dinosaur we gotta worry about. Well, we saw that dude for 2.5 seconds.
How did they showcase the other dinosaur? It's one of the first things you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It killed the T-Rex. That's how you can tell how big the other dinosaurs or how bad the other dinosaurs were in the previous movies, because the T-Rex will come and either the T-Rex got destroyed or the T-Rex needed help with the other raptors and stuff like that. Like he needed help. It was something else. They say like, oh, okay, that's why this dinosaur is big and bad, because I know what a T-Rex is. I know what a T-Rex can do, and it destroyed that. Then so you didn't get none of that. You saw the T-Rex playing with a wrap like it was like a bone. That's about all you saw.
Yeah, no, that
missed opportunity, man.
Yeah, missed opportunity. Do y'all think they're coming out with another one?
Yes.
Well, so it's weird because they dropped this one, and I think they said the budget on this one was like around close to with marketing almost close to 400 million, something like that, right?
I think so. I think the movie budget was 200. I think.
But then you add another 100 or so for marketing.
So supposedly, BJ, they said they're getting they this weekend here. They already close to their budget already.
Well, so they made almost 400 million the first weekend, but the problem is that they dropped it right before Superman and then Fantastic Four. So I don't think it's gonna have legs after this first weekend. After this weekend, I think it's gonna drop off.
They should have put a 2-week gap in between.
At least, yeah, to give it time.
That's what Superman did. You see what Superman did? He did that. He now 2-week gap. Then you come up with Fantastic Four.
They wanted to do the 4th of July.
Yeah, they went the 4-day weekend. I mean, it made money. It made money. So,
but I think, like I said, I think it was short-sighted because I think it's gonna be cannibalized by the next two movies. So I think it's gonna have that next drop. Because they always look at the drop off from the first weekend to the second weekend. So it's gonna probably be like 90%, 80% drop.
Jesus Christ, you saying that much? I was gonna say 70. I was gonna go by.
Just quick Google. They said that the budget was 180. Just for the production itself, right? We're not talking about the advertising. And then it made 318 globally.
Okay, yeah.
But then you got to you know how that works. So it's not going to be profitable because you have to movie theater split is like usually it's like in the U.S. it's 50-50 with the theaters, the split. So
No,
the
it's 30,
studio gets
33%.
50%. The huh?
It's 33% for the movie theaters.
Well, no, I used to work for a movie theater company. It was for the so we that's how we always did it. But it's always been like it's 50. So and I was in the accounting for them. But we made 50%. The studio made 50%. Now you make 100% of the concessions and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as
Why?
the
So
ticket
why
sales,
concession is $200 for about
that's the thing.
dang,
Because yeah, they're giving half the money to the studio. But then in other countries, it's a lower percentage because of the conversion rates. And so they said like so the other countries, I think it's like 60 to 70% goes to the theater, and then the smaller amount goes. So that's why they don't like the global market. So you usually have to at least get double your budget in the U.S. to break even, and then whatever you make globally is kind of like profit. That's why I like the Avengers movies made profit because I think their budget was like 250 million, and then you also got to add the marketing budget. So most studios they say you double the production budget for the marketing budget to end up with the total budget. So like if it's 180, then you say 360. So in order for it to break even, it'd have to gross around 720 worldwide to
yeah,
break even.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's why they
And
say in Superman they said because
that's with the marketing and everything.
well in like Superman they said Superman's budget was supposed to be 80 million, but they said it jumped to 250
So
production.
remember the marketing was 250.
I know, but I'm saying but they said the Superman budget jumped to 250 in production, and so now they said it's going to have to, as they said, it's going to need around 720 to 750 to break even.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're hoping it gets close to that $1 billion. Because if not, then that may be the grand opening, grand closing with this whole James Gunn DCU.
Well, James Gunn already said that too. He said they just wanted to the goal right now, man, is just to get the positive going with the movie. So and everything else will lead to that as far as money and stuff. So um no, like you said, I think their marketing alone was 250. I think it's like this is the highest in like Warner Brothers history as far as spending marketing on a movie or whatever. So like they had a lot of riding on this movie, man. So that's why they put all their all into it as far with the marketing and stuff. And they did pretty, man. That marketing was crazy. Almost Deadpool like as far with the marketing.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and show some love to Playback, y'all.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
All right, man. Let's get to some of these questions and comments. We call it a night. Salam said, "What's up, fellas? Just checking in. What's up, Salam?" He also says, "I'm looking forward to seeing Soups. It's funny seeing the haters get riled up. What a world. Yeah, you know the Snyder coaches are gonna be out there." Bro Law said, "What up, fellas? What up, Bro Law?" The controller says the Snyder cut is from Day Space.
Yeah, I've been trying to understand that for like the last 10, 15 minutes. I can't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that, controller. Let us know what you mean by that. Then he said Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, they dropped the Woman of Tomorrow part and just now it's just Supergirl. So maybe it won't be called the Batman, y'all. It'll probably just be called Batman. Because already the Batman. I mean, I don't know. But you might have to add a little subtitle on that, man, just to kind of so people know the difference, I guess. Brolaw says, not proud to admit I never heard of World's Finest, but I'm interested. I will have to read more about it. Is there a series available to watch, or is it only comic books? So it's not like I mean, it is a title, but there's just different stories of Batman and Superman working together. If you want to see a Batman and Superman working together on TV, it probably Superman Batman's Most Wanted. That's on Max. What was part 2? When they found Supergirl. What's the name of that one? Dang, what was the name of that one? I can't remember the name of that movie, but I know it's part. Yeah, crap. I know. Most Wanted was the first one, and the sequel was the one when they found Supergirl. and I can't. That's the one with Supergirl had that fight with Darkseid at the end. But yeah, just find them on Max, man. It's a Superman Batman movie for both of them. Kind of get an idea. He also says, agree with the bad movie fatigue. I was also tired of the multiverse, but because watching superhero movies growing up, I can always be suckered into coming back. Yeah, man. It is. Salam says, Jurassic World Rebirth was mid AF. Scarlett, Bailey, and Ali did the best they could. The FX were even subpar at times, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know, who directed that movie, man. Garrett Edwards.
Garrett, yeah. But there was a scene, like, I don't know if you remember when they were in the one of those. I think they were in a raft or something. You could tell it was like CG or blue screen or something. I was like, yeah, it looked cheesy.
Salam also says, man, the characters keep doing dumb stuff in the movie. It was insulting. Dude banging the side of the mountain for with the F-16 dinosaur flying around. The T-Rex scene with the raft, man. Come on. Yeah. I mean, and y'all think it's gonna be another movie?
I think it made enough.
I just want to. I don't know how they're gonna do it, bro. You gotta explain that. You didn't. Why else would you go to that area? What else you need to go to that area for? That's the thing. It's like, I don't know. But it's called Rebirth, as if they're trying to start a whole new, set of movies or whatever. But
the samples, someone's gonna recreate something from those samples.
I could see that. That's probably the only thing I could think of, because they already got like to where it's illegal to go over there. So like, why else would y'all go over there? You know what I'm saying? And people lost their lives over there. So, but yeah. So listen, guys, we definitely appreciate it, man. Everybody geeking out with us, man, for another episode. Remember, y'all, follow us on our other channel, because we geek clips, so we can have the short versions of the show over there. Follow us over there. We're still trying to grow that channel. We will be back here on Saturday, man. Big J said he's gonna watch Superman on Friday. He gonna buy the Galactus bucket, and he gonna take it to Superman movie. So we'll have the spoilers discussion, open spoiler discussion, y'all, Saturday morning. So go watch the movie, come back here, man, join us for the conversation. With all that being said, man, listen, we will be back Saturday morning, same geek time, same geek channel. We got BA, we got Big J, we got myself, Real. Hopefully, Cuz will be back Saturday for sure, because he's going to the movies with us. So we're gonna be doing a spoiler discussion Saturday morning. So other than that, man, y'all boys everybody stay geeked out there, and we out.